through Facebook to
You
bring
bet.
over the questions that are asked. Thank you, both of you. We're going to, first, I hope that all of you had a very, very nice Christmas. Thank you for being with us today, and I hope you have a great new year. It's coming fast. So with that, we're going to start today. We'll start with Carrie. Carrie's like a painter of light. Her stuff is so bright.
Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Good morning, everybody, or evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Today, I wanted to do a holiday painting that was not overly holiday-ish, more winter-ish, that you could have the whole winter up. So I wanted to show you, whenever I have a still life, I do multiple versions. So these little trees, I have them laying around my desk to show you what they look like. And there are bigger sizes, and some are iridescent, and some are clear. It might be hard to see that, but I got them at like the Target dollar spot. So they were not expensive. And I've set them up and done a few paintings this season. This is the one I'm doing today, which is more winterish. This one, I used colorful lights and made it more of a holiday Christmas painting. So I just want to show you can do a lot of different things with inexpensive props from the dollar store, from the, dollar spot at different places. But I wanted to show you a little bit about my process. I know we have 15 minutes, but I thought it's kind of neat to see how this starts. So I set all my still life that are with the bright light, because I love to capture light, whether it's with light bulbs and strands of lights that I set up in the dark, or outside when I'm using the sun. So I always set my still lifes up outside when I want the bright, dramatic lighting. And so here you can see in my front yard with a little TV tray and a board underneath it that I've set these trees up. And I like having a board like that so you can spin it around and capture different shadows, move your light source, and have control over that. So once I've set it up, I take a whole lot of pictures. So here's a little thumbnail sheet to show you I'm taking pictures. And I just use an iPhone or an iPad. And I like to do that because you can get bird's eye view, all different angles, really get in and see different perspectives. Once I've taken the thumbnails, I will go in and photo edit just within my camera, and then I'll take it into Photoshop to further photo edit. But I'll pick out ones that look like they're going to be good, and I will start saturating them a little bit and editing right there in my camera. And then I can decide whether I want to take more images or if I have enough. And I always like the idea of having a series. So today, here's the photo reference that I'm painting today for you. And here's the painting that I've been working on. You can see I saturate the colors and have a lot of fun with picking bright, fun colors. And I don't limit myself. So I can't even fit my palette in my screen. See how many colors? So I just wanted to show you that these are the colors that I've used in this painting. I won't go through all of them because I have limited time, but I did mix a cobalt teal turquoise with titanium white to get my lightest blue in here, and then went down these different colors right there. So there's quite a few colors that are captured with these little iridescent and clear trees. So I'm going to come over here. I've painted most of them on there, but I want have one left. I was telling them earlier that I have to do this. Otherwise, I need like 9 hours or something to paint this much. Wasn't quite that much at this size. I spent about 4 or 5 hours yesterday painting this. So I'm
Carrie,
going to,
can I ask you a quick question? When you
sure.
start with the painting the colors, do you use the pure colors mostly, or do you mix at times because they're so vivid?
I mostly use the pure color. So I used to have a palette and did more mixing. And then I started to become kind of a palette hoarder where I didn't want to get rid of my palettes and waste paint. And so it was becoming a problem, and I had stacks and stacks of palettes. So I started, 2 reasons. I was moving overseas and I needed to streamline my process. And the other reason, because of the palette hoarding situation, I started just mixing on the paper. And like I said, right now I have a custom color that I could have mixed on a palette, but I've done it in my own little container. Here's my little pans of paint that I have made with the Daniel Smith colors. And so this is the cobalt teal turquoise with titanium white. So I made this kind of light, pretty blue color that I'm using as one of the main colors in my palette. So once I started mixing on my palette, Rick, I started getting like these clean washes. And it allowed the watercolors to kind of work together and mingle on the paper. And so I just adopted that process of kind of mixing right on the paper. And it's been a technique. It's been a good thing that came out of that whole process. So sometimes shaking things up and having to reinvent how you do things turns into some good practices.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking. So I'm starting with that cobalt teal turquoise light with the whites in it, the titanium white, and I'm kind of going through and I'm picking out where I have these lightest parts on this painting. I have a little bit of masking. You can see it's that light blue masking right there, which kind of matches my paint color. So it's a little bit of a what's masking and what's paint, but I have that masking on there for the bright whites that I want that sparkle. So you can see over in here where I've pulled the masking already, and I have that bright sparkle. And it's really important on the end of this glass to have that bright sparkle. And having a dark background like this, I did the phthalo blue red shade as my background. Having that dark background helps make all that sparkle pop. So it is a drama effect. And you can see in my actual photograph, I had, it was in a yard, it was in my front yard. So I had grass and, all this stuff back there. So I just took that out. But what did happen that was neat was having that green grass and things behind there made these two trees pop out as these bright green trees. So I did like that effect. So I kept that in there. But I'm going to start with my cobalt teal turquoise. And I won't get this done right now in my 15 minutes, but by the end of the time, hopefully I'll have most of it done when we come back and show everybody's paintings at the end.
Carrie, I have a question. Did you always use the white spots, or you just every time you take the masking fluid?
Do I always reserve the white spots? Is that what you're?
Yes. If you just use the masking tube, or you just sometimes you have white parts out.
I always
just from the paper.
I mask my whites with masking fluid in the beginning. In fact, I use a lot of masking fluid and a lot of stages of it, but I always mask my bright whites and try to do that. I've tried where I paint around them, and I don't like the effects as much. I know it's kind of a blessing and a curse, masking fluid, because you get those hard edges, but I've really adopted a practice of, how to soften and work with and really figure out when is the time to use masking and when is it better to not use it. So I kind of use a mixture of just painting a lot and figuring out when it is in my best interest to use masking fluid. But I use a ruling pen to apply my masking fluid, which is like a calligraphy drafting tool. And so that allows me to get really precise masking. So I notice when I paint with my students and we do masking, masking is its own little art form. It's like anything we use, paint, water, brushes, paper, everything you have to be practicing it to get good at it. And so masking is no different. So the more you do it, the better you get at it.
And this tool is very clever. But the decision to take masking fluid or to take the white paper, did you make it by painting or before?
Before. So when I'm mapping out and deciding, by the time I get to the process where I'm painting, I have really thought through this entire composition and kind of painted it in my head and have made like a strategy. And so I have decided beforehand what's going to be masked. And then sometimes I will mask out over colored areas if I want like little yellow sparkles, let's say. Then I would do masking on top of dry. Your paint has to be really dry to mask on top of but I will mask out like a yellow sparkle or, highlight with different colors. So like I said, the more I mask, the more I utilize masking to my benefit. So I'm coming in now with bismuth vanadate. Thank you for asking. I'm coming in now with bismuth vanadate yellow, which is one of my favorite yellows because it's an opaque yellow and I call it a bully color. I was talking about last week, I think of my paints as like playground kids on the playground, and some play well together and some don't, and some are bullies and some are shy. And so bismuth vanadate is a bully color because it really can come in and take charge. Even in really dark blues. So when I'm doing like these lights that I did earlier and I need kind of that glowing effect, you can get bismuth vanadate to come in and really push all the other pigments out. And it works like that because it is an opaque, but even some opaques are not, don't bully as much as others. And that one is one of my favorites now because of that quality. And I can add more water to it and use it in a more transparent fashion. So it doesn't have to just be, on top of the paper like that, the bully. So I'm coming in now with a phthalo yellow green. Love my phthalos. They're kind of the party. They're the wild children on the playground. They are a party and they are going to come in and they're staining and they're pretty and they demand attention. And so love my phthalos. The phthalo blue red shade is another one. They're not as granulating. And for me, with painting glass and clear things, I don't want as much granulation as some of you that are painting, landscapes or, highly texturized things. So I'm looking for colors that are a little more non-granulating. And so I kind of gravitated to the phthalos because of that. And the same thing with the phthalo blue red shade has taken over for some of my ultramarine backgrounds because of the granulation. I love ultramarine. It's a beautiful color, but I needed a little less granulation. So here comes opera pink, another drama color that has a lot of attention on it. And this is, I call these confetti colors when you come in and place these bright colors in here, and they're important to have these bright, pretty colors to add some of the drama, and they're sprinkled throughout. I talked about last week, always having your color, when you introduce a color, you need it in at least 3 places. I like to have it in odd numbers because it's good to have odd numbers. And then I also like to triangulate as much as I can so that you move your eye around. This painting is a little kind of a horizontal line that's kind of going across, but having triangulations of the pink, like here, 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 if you can create triangulations of that pink, your eye just kind of bounces around the composition. So I always try to think about that when I'm adding colors in, like where can I have it and can I do it in a triangle?
Carrie, there's a request for you to quickly show your reference photo again.
Sure. Here is my reference.
Maybe somebody could screenshot that. I'm not as fast as Letty. I try, but she wins every time.
Carrie, we have 2
Yes.
minutes.
Okay, I'll just continue painting on this and we can move on to the next and come back at the end and I'll have more of it done. But I'm just going to keep layering these colors as I see them. I'm adding a little pyrrole red. And yeah, so I'll see you at the end when we're almost done.
Right. So we're going to have Gabriel next. Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Gabriel. Are you there?
It helps to unmute. It sure does help to unmute there. So thank you for joining us, everyone. I hope everyone had a lovely, lovely Christmas. This time of the year, we're always going to fun places. This particular place I'm painting today is the Hotel Del. And I enjoy good movies at Christmas time, right? So my daughter brought up how she liked the guy in Home Alone 2, the bellhop guy. So here we got the bellhop and we have a customer. But I always enjoy going over to the Hotel Del, where they have these beautiful decorations this time of the year. And so here we have our gentleman that's waiting to serve the lovely people coming in to the hotel. I'm always searching for the next painting, just like the rest of you. We're always wondering, oh, can I find the next subject? And if you just look around, and you'll find your next subject. I had a young lady ask me recently, like, do you ever have like artist block? And I said, no, because I have all these wonderful Daniel Smith watercolors to choose from, and there's subject matters all around us. So if you just get out of your studio and go enjoy this wonderful city that you live in, you're gonna find something magical to paint. And so I just enjoy watching people as they're waiting to just serve our community. And I love this, how this gentleman was just eager and ready to just help the next customer. And so we're going to put him right here. And he was a younger gentleman, but the nice thing about it was uh, the kindness, right? This time of the year, maybe you're around people you don't want to be around. Maybe this time of the year, you wish there's someone else you could be around that you aren't around. And so it's nice when you meet some of these like genuine, lovely people. And so I did work on this background while Carrie was going to town. And so all this painting is started today. I like to do paintings start to finish, unless it's a larger painting. But this particular painting, I wanted to just capture the wonderful, uh, ambiance of what's going on. We've got this lovely little Patreon here checking into the hotel. And I'm gonna drop in just some water. So I just put some paint down, and now I'm just gonna work with some water with what we have there. She's got this lovely, lovely coat, and of course, all of you know I love me some moon glow, and so I'm gonna come up from the backside with the moon glow into that jacket, leaving a little bit of whites right in here. And coming on down, we've got that back side of the jacket. There's a little bit of the front side, and then we have this cute decorated stuff. And this is this is what I'm working from. So you're not always getting the right photo for a reference photo. So take several others and look at your composition and maybe get a better picture of, your individual there. This lady's doing something a little different here than she was doing here. Her hands right in front of her face, so that's like a no-go. And so I also take video. I'll take video, and I'm in a good distance where I'm not like all up in their business, making them awkwardly nervous. And so yeah, it's a joy to get out and to find your subjects and play around with these wonderful paints.
Gabriel, Mark says Gabriel is awesome. Just thought you should know.
I didn't pay Mark to say that, so thanks for the genuine kindness. But I'll send you the check, Mark.
Thanks.
It's a good time, it's a good time to just encourage people to get out there and find something paint worthy. The biggest thing about this painting are your values. Okay. I know we got a lot of wonderful, wonderful things and colors in here, but if I don't have my values, I don't have a good painting. And I'm very stickler on getting some values before color. As you can see, my palette over here, it has most of my dot color colors here. So if later you want to go back and see what colors I'm working with, there might be just a couple of extra colors that are not on my palette. And I added,
I'm at the bottom.
here is cobalt blue that I'm using today. I think cobalt blue and this wonderful pyro transparent orange make a wonderful gray. If you're looking for a new gray, I do have some Chinese white here. I'm going to add to that pyro orange for this other lady's face over here. And then she's got some lovely hair. Well, she's not a bald woman, so let's give her some hair. And add some blue into that brown to make it a little bit darker and a pop from that background. Her hair kind of goes on to her. I love how these people dress up real classy. They got the vest on. It just looks really, professional. And, she's in the distance. I don't need too much information at this point. But what I'm looking for is shapes. I would say I'm a shape painter instead of, I'm a certain thing kind of. I like to look at the next shape, and you could really grow as a painter or even someone drawing just by looking at the shapes. And I mean, you just saw just a couple little things done right there. Of course, I'm going to come back and put some nice little tight little details in the front of her face, but that's not at this point. We do have this other lady here, and look at that, just a horrible picture. But if as an artist, if you squint at a really nice photo, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing that nice, blurry, wonderful. So again, I've got the pyro orange and a little bit of green though to the pyro orange with the Chinese white. And she's got some light hitting her top of her head. So I'm gonna leave that white and then come down in here. And then I'm add a little bit of Chinese white to the mix again. Or you can add water, whichever. And then she's got her jacket. How am I doing on time?
Six minutes.
All right. Thank you so much. She's got that other arm on the counter. I think she's waiting for her to get her key to her room. She's got her cute little hand right here. I'm just putting down the shapes right now. I can always get tighter. but I want to get in all of these wonderful shapes. And so I would call this that I'm just looking at the wonderful local colors. I do like that. And here's one little thing I like to do every now and then in a painting. I do have some gouache right here. And maybe I want to make this flower area by the lady's goats. And it looks like I got a little out of control with the green there. So over here, I got a nice little mix with some Hansa yellow lights and a little bit of gouache. And now I could just really bump up that yellow with some opaques. And that's going to add some lovely little lights right there around her jacket. Because the jacket has the transparent spiral orange, and then I'm putting in an opaque color. So if you watched my video, I think last year or the year before last, where I added wash and watercolor, we talked about having that that huge span of paint where it's transparent over here and opaque over there. So those opaques are really making your watercolors pop.
Gabriel, I
Yes.
have a question. And on the side, this man who is standing, there is like a little window or vitrine. And no, the left, yeah. And did you take white inside?
No, that's actually this. I left the white in here.
Yes.
So what you're asking is, did I paint with white in there? And
Yeah.
the answer is no. What I did was this is the mix I was just talking about just a minute ago. I will take some of this cobalt blue here,
Mhm.
and then I will take some pyro orange right here. Okay, and now I'm going to mix the two of them. So you see that? But now if I just take a little bit and add it to the blue of the pyro orange, I can get a nice grays. So here we go. Boom, boom. And then what I
Amazing.
have to do is
Yeah.
lots of water. And
Yeah.
that's how I did that window or that it's a dun, dun, dun. It's like a shelf
Yeah.
with some vase or ceramics on display. And so what I'm doing now is I have this square dun, 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 like this, leaving these whites in that square. And now we go darker because that case is lit up on the inside, right? So
Yeah.
here's the brown on our case. And it gets darker like that.
Wow.
And then
Amazing
with some
effect.
clean water. Now I'm gonna get in there and then make some fun shapes in here to make it look like. And now this is where you leave it alone. We
Yeah.
don't keep getting in there and touch it. If you leave this alone and let it dry by itself, no using the hair dryer, then all that beautiful textured paper and granulation is going to set up and make these
Thank you so
lovely
much.
shapes.
You're a
Yeah.
genius.
It's just
Gabriel.
you gotta experiment. Yes.
Yeah, we have like if you could wrap up for a minute and then come back
Yeah,
to this piece later.
for sure. So I'm gonna work on this guy's face. I'm gonna finish our customer that's coming here. And of course, when you put a signature down, it looks really nice. And one tip about a signature, you can use it a pen that is a really nice ink, or you can use a really nice brush. I lost one of my favorite brushes that I would sign my name. So whatever you choose to do, make sure that you write your name high enough in your painting so that when you go to frame this picture, the lovely people at the frame shop don't cover your name. So don't write it on the edge of your, but we'll come back later and you'll see some more of this done. And we'll head off to the next person. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you, Gabriel.
Happy New Year.
Okay, we're gonna have now gonna have Besnik. And
Hey. Hi everyone.
Hello, Besnik.
Hi John. Hi everyone. So Christmas already gone, but I am saying it again. Merry Christmas to everyone, and I wish you the prosperous 2025 with a lot of beautiful colors. Since we have only 15 minutes per artist, I'm gonna be starting from blank paper. I will try to do two abstract paintings. I'm going to use masking liquid first, and then I will combine these colors that I did before. So it's going to look like this. But this one is not finished. I just tested the colors if I like. I am satisfied with this combination. So I'm going to start first with the masking liquid, and then I will wet the paper and go further with playing with these beautiful colors. So on top it is kyanite. This is Perignon orange. This is one of the iridescents that I really love. Iridescent vibrant raspberry, cobalt teal blue. Usually I always use it. And in here I'm going to use also the sticks. So I'm going to start with a masking liquid. Usually when I use masking liquid, I use the best brushes. I use a little bit older brushes. This one, because you already know that it can damage the brushes. Masking liquid, you don't go very cautious with it. It's Daniel Smith, always masking liquid. I'm gonna paint something resembling the tree, something like that with aggressive brush stroke. And then I'm gonna use the hair dryer to dry it.
Oh, that's video if you want them to see you. Or, oh, see what he's doing. Would he be talking? And as we see.
You paint with that, Besnik?
Yeah, I'm painting with masking liquid.
Yes, you do.
There is some reflection of light. But anyway, I hope it's gonna be good. Okay, I'm gonna dry this. Just add a little bit more of to have a snowy atmosphere. And I'll finish with a masking liquid. On top, I will start after I dry it with hair dryer. I will paint this kyanite. I want to have more mica on this painting. Guys, if someone asks me, probably I won't hear you because I'm using hair dryer.
Hi, Besnik. Angela here. Hello? You cannot hear.
He doesn't hear. I wonder what paper he's using, because if the paper is too soft, then if you dry the masking liquid, it kind of sticks to the paper. But if it's arches or some harder paper,
He always uses arches. He told us that he always uses arches rough. 300.
yes, that's right. Otherwise, it will stick to the paper.
Exactly.
And it depends, I suppose he's not using very high heat.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
So it's not totally dry, but yeah, I know I'm gonna be able to do.
Hi, Besnik, did you use hot air or cold air?
Hot.
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 Hello, my dear Angela.
Sorry?
Hello, Angela.
Hi there. Is it a Irish 300 grams you're painting?
No, this is Bauhong cold press.
Oh, Bauhong cold press.
Ah.
Yeah, lately I'm using only Bauhong, and I love this paper. So now I'm wetting the paper, and I'm just gonna be playing with different colors. First, on top, I will start with kyanite. In here, I will add iridescent vibrant raspberry. Will give you a nice, beautiful contrast. and then Perignon orange.
So which one was the previous one?
I will show you again.
Can you tell us the
Iridescent, vibrant raspberry.
Oh, okay.
As you can see here, it's not wet. Intentionally, I let it dry to have more dry brush stroke. And we use the sprayer to make it wet, and use the cobalt teal blue.
Rajat, I think Besnik is faster than you.
Rajat is too slow for me.
I totally agree with you, Stella. He's
I am
doing two
even
paintings.
faster. I am even faster skier than him. And in here, I will play just with thick carbazole violet, which is in my set, this set, for which I am very grateful. Thank you so much, John and Catherine, for doing this. In this, it is carbazole violet. I'm just gonna add a bit of lines to have more as in background of this white tree. After I
Hello, Besnik. We cannot understand very clearly what you're saying. Could you get nearer to the microphone, please?
Is it okay now? You hear me?
Yes, better, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I said I'm using carbazole violet, which is in the set that John and Catherine put in the set of the sticks, for which I'm very grateful to John and Catherine. So tonight I'm using one just to make it contrast here. There's a background of the white tree. So after I'm going to remove the masking liquid, I will have only the white that left. So now let's see the magic of gravity. What will happen? Let's hope something beautiful will happen. In here goes Wisteria.
Love the water doing its job.
Yes, this is the beauty of watercolor.
Yep.
The wisteria was applied directly from the tube, right?
Yes. Even that I didn't use granulating colors, you see how beautiful the combining of them are doing these effects of the orange and cyanide.
Very beautiful.
So now I'm going to take from here and just do some thinner branches of the trees.
I think you have a minute to wrap up.
Yeah, okay, after my time is up, oh, just go further with Stella. I will finish by the end of the session.
Looks great. Love that running colors.
Thank you, Stella.
Fun.
So yeah, after you go ahead with Stella, I will go further with the painting.
Hello, hi everyone. Merry Christmas to all of you and a wonderful new year. It will be a much better one. I promise. I have to make it a better one. Anyway, I will paint something really funny today because the moths ate my brushes. So since I come from Bulgaria and I repurpose everything, I have to paint with this brush. And I have a wonderful friend that I'm doing tribute to him today from Bulgaria. And I will paint something in his style, which I love. He's a wonderful artist and wonderful man. I send my colors that I'm using to Letty. Letty, could you put them up, darling? I use 9 colors, and as you see, I mask my palette, so you will see where I am, what I'm using. I'm using all my blues and moon glow, and I have to stand when I paint. It's really how interesting how that brush works. I mix all of my blues, all of them, because I like different nuances of blue, and with this brush. And I will start with a dry paper, and I will use this as and it's the fun thing is leaving a lot of whites. So I love that effect. And more darks, and I can add a little of my carmine to make it a little darker and have different effects. But look at how the brush works. Isn't that fun? It's a great brush. It is. Those are all my 3 blues that I have on my dot card and moon glow. I love to leave the white of the paper. Here it is. And it's actually how I divide the paper. That is the most important thing to do my design. Here it is. And all of the different values of that. And then I will soften a little those edges high up in this with a little of my cerulean blue, like to have the distance, show the distance a little more and connect it. It is. And I would like to do a very windy scene. It's a windy winter scene. So I will try to make that wind also with that brush and have it really in there in the sky. Isn't that fun? There is the wind.
Stella, the paper is dry?
Paper is dry, yes. I started on absolutely dry paper, but you know, after a while, it gets wet, and I will add a little of my Carmen to make it a little and soften some of the edges of that sky. But I love that effect. And then we'll use my Goethe Brown, which is semi-transparent, and do some grasses. Isn't that fun with this brush to do this? It's just so different, but it's kind of very spontaneous. And that is what I love to paint with. And a little of Carmen in there. So it is a winter scene. And here is a little of that blue, of course, has to come in and have some there. And some of that. And that brush is amazing. I absolutely love that thing. Okay, and I want to have something coming out of here. So I'm thinking more design, how to project that. A little of warm in there.
Stella, could you hold that up closer to the camera so we can see all that beautiful detail work?
There's not much detail, Rick, but
I bet it looks great though.
thank you. And here is a little more of this. And I have to put a little of the burnt orange to make the values of that grass a little, the contrast of that, and mixed a little with the blue. It is, and this in here. And I do have a few minutes, I suppose. Okay, and here I want to have also some of this blue that is there in the sky too. This is snow, so it has to come in little things to show. Okay, now I would like to do few grasses. And the grasses have to be dark. So there's all my blues and a little of burnt orange and some of those grasses. And it has to come a little, when it gets a little dark, a little dry. Okay, some of them. And I will take also another brush. And here is all these colors that I am showing, but using I always love to put a little of yellow, very little of yellow on my sky, because it gives a little kind of that wintry, not too much. So just the nuance of that sky to have the blues and a tiny little of cool yellow there. And I will put, of course, a little of that somewhere else here. And now I will take a small brush and do a little more contrast in my grasses in here. And some branches and some stuff. Some darks, some grasses, little things that grow. There it is. Okay, and maybe uniting some of this, a little of yellow and the grass somewhere to give a little light in there, a little. And of course, I cannot do anything without the red. So I have to put some red into that. Few of that drops of red and a little more darks. Into the grasses. I think I'm done. Rajat, how fast was that? There.
Stella, this is fabulous.
Thank you.
Fabulous.
Okay.
It is giving the proper, winter landscape.
Yes.
Fantastic job.
That is what I plan to do. Just a little of winter grasses and okay, here it is.
We all should have a brush like this. Beautiful.
Wonderful, Stella.
I know.
Wonderful.
I don't know.
Wonderful.
You can see it here. Maybe give me that other view, Ethel. I will put it like this, so closer to, yes. Here it is. It's a winter scene. Oh, still the colors do not show very well, but it is. Just a little play, as always.
Stella, people want to know the brand of that brush. So you can start making brushes like this and selling
I
them.
know. It's some very cheap Chinese brush. You see here?
Yes.
This. I don't know what that brush is, but I had also this one, which is Petit Gris, which is a beautiful brush, but unfortunately the moths ate them. So I have these 3 brushes that the moths ate, and I use them just to play with them, and it's kind of fun. And this is the EO. It's a Korean brush that Miran Kim gave it to me as present, which is also very scruffy. Look at this. And it makes wonderful effects. So, repurposing, guys, I repurpose everything. I come from Bulgaria. Nothing is thrown away. So here is my winter scene.
It's gorgeous, very beautiful.
Beautiful.
Thank you. That was just play, as always, in my beautiful colors. I use the very little of the reds, but mostly the blues. The moon glow gives such a beautiful effect when you mix it with the blues.
Yeah. Very nice.
Good show, Stella.
Thank you.
We'll just bring all frames together. Gabriel, is your camera? I think your camera is off.
Uh-oh. Let me check.
Besnik, maybe you can remove the yellow tape.
Here we go.
Yeah, beautiful. Gabriel, very beautiful.
Oh, Anna Marie's painted alone.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice, Anna-Marie.
Hey, Anna Marie, that's wonderful.
Wow.
My gosh, you painted fast. Yes. Do you have some of those? Yes. Oh, great.
And Anna's as well.
Oh,
And Sylvia.
That is wonderful.
Yes. Thank you, Stella. Lots of fun here.
Oh, very nice.
Thank you, Stella. Here you go.
Oh, thank you, Anna. That's
And
wonderful.
Besnik.
Very
nice.
good works. Very beautiful, all of them.
So much fun. Thank you.
Nice job.
Thank you, everyone.
Oh, that's great,
Have
Anna.
a
Looks
wonderful new year.
wonderful.
Thank you, everybody. Wish you all a wonderful new year. Thank you for joining all year long. Look forward to seeing you next year, which is
Thank
very.
you.
You're very
See
welcome.
you next
John.
year.
Bye
See
bye,
you
everybody.
next year.
Bye.
Happy New
Bye.
Year.
Bye.
Happy
Much
New Year.
love
Oh.
and everything.